Austin Manor Apartments of North Carolina LLC, 19 Property Tax Commission 0150. The second is the Golden Link Masonic Lodge, number 205, 20 Property Tax Commission, excuse me, 0673. And before we get into those two cases, let me read my standard notice I'm required to do. In accordance with the State Government Ethics Act, it is the duty of every commissioner to avoid both conflicts of interest and appearance of interest. Does any commission member have any known conflict of interest or appearance of conflict of interest with respect to any matters coming before the commission today? If so, please identify the conflict or appearance of conflict and refrain from any undue participation in this particular matter. Seeing no commissioner or hearing no commissioner expresses a conflict, we'll get to the first item. Let me introduce everyone. I'm Bob Hunter, chairman of the commission, and today we have Commissioners Vice Chairman Terry Wheeler, Commissioner Alex Guest, and Commissioner Jim Michaud. Commissioner Bill Peasley is not with us today. And we have, as usual, our fine secretary and general counsel, Steve Pelfrey, and our excellent stenographer, Linda Garrett. And as well, two-day bride-to-be, Alexandra Bendette, soon to be Alexander Darby. Did I get it right? Dalby. Okay. Well, we're all excited for her. Okay, and at this time, Mr. Pelfrey, can you tell us about New Austin Manor Apartments of North Carolina LLC, 19 Property Tax Commission 0150. And let me find out first, is there someone here? I know we've got a couple of people. If you're here in the matter of New Austin Manor Apartments of North Carolina LLC, please identify yourself.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. My name is Chad Essick. I'm here on behalf of Johnston County this morning.
Okay, on behalf of Johnston County. Anybody here on behalf of New Austin Manor Apartments of North Carolina LLC? Okay, hearing none. Normally, Mr. Essex, we let Mr. Pelfrey advise us about this, and then you can add anything you would like to at this time after he gets through. Mr. Pelfrey?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Yes, in this matter, New Austin Manor Apartments of North Carolina LLC filed a notice of appeal with the Property Tax Commission on June 12th, 2019. On June 18th, 2019, our office mailed a letter acknowledging receipt of that appeal and included with that letter a copy of Form AV-63 to be completed by business entities. That letter indicated that the form was due back within 30 days on or before July 12th, 2019, and that failure to file that form within 30 days of filing the appeal would subject the appeal to dismissal. As of this date, we have not received anything further from the appellant with regard to the AV-63, and by letter dated March 30th, 2021, the parties were notified of the time, location, as it were, a web link to today's meeting and the purpose of today's hearing.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pelfrey. Mr. Essick, anything you'd like to add?
No, Mr. Chairman, we've not heard from this taxpayer or their representative either, so I have nothing else to add.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Always glad to have you. Hope things are fine in Johnston County. Okay, do I hear a motion in this matter? Let's see, I got to get my layout changed.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Let me get my grid layout better here so I can see better. Okay. Now, I think I saw Miss. We're getting to echo. If you can, please mute if you're not talking. Okay. I get tired of listening to myself twice. I think I saw Mr. Guest raise his hand and indicate a motion. Is that correct, Mr. Guest? Just nod if it is.
That's fine.
Okay. And Mr. Wheeler, I think I heard you second. So we have a motion by Commissioner Guest, seconded by Vice Chairman Wheeler. Any further discussion on this matter? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to dismiss New Austin Manor Apartments of North Carolina LLC, 19 Property Tax Commission 0150. Please say aye. Aye. And it's unanimous, and so that matter is dismissed. And again, thank you, Mr. Essex. Okay, and the second matter on the agenda, Golden Link Masonic Lodge, number 205, 20 Property Tax Commission 0673. Also from Johnson County. That's right, we still got you, Mr. Essex. Mr. Pelfrey, can you tell us about this matter that's on the agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and I'll also point out, I believe Mr. James is here on behalf of the lodge in this matter.
That is correct.
Mr. James?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, glad to have you this morning. So let me, after we hear from Mr. Pelfrey, we'll hear from you as to anything you would want to say.
Okay.
Mr. Pelfrey?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, in this matter, the appellant filed a notice of appeal with the Property Tax Commission on December 31st, 2020. On January 7, 2021, our office sent a letter acknowledging the receipt of that notice of appeal and included with that letter a copy of Form AV-14 required under the Administrative Code for all appeals. Also included with that letter, or I'm sorry, with the form, were instructions for completing the form and the instruction to return the form within 30 days of the date of the letter of acknowledgement, which again was January 7, 2021. As of today, either Form AV-14 or a request for an extension of time in which to file Form AV-14.
Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, sorry, my home phone, I forgot to take it off the hook so it wouldn't ring, and it was ringing. Okay, let's see, Mr. Pelfrey, there was no AV-63 required in this. Is that your understanding? Just the
Yes,
AV-14?
Mr. Chairman, that is, I'm not 100% sure of the nature of the lodge entity, but in any event, the lodge is represented by a North Carolina licensed attorney, so that form would not be required.
Okay, Mr. James, are you an attorney?
I am.
Okay, I'm sorry. I should have asked that before. So certainly you're able to be here on behalf of the Golden Link Masonic Lodge number 205, and welcome.
Thank you.
You've heard Mr. Pelfrey's explanation that there hadn't been an AV-14 file that needs to be filed. What would you like to tell us about that?
I can definitely file that. When I received the first letter from Johnson County Tax Administration, it talked about the appeal could be filed by AV-14 or a signed letter. This signed letter, which was included here, so we used this letter to give notice of appeal to the commission. So I don't know if you can see this.
All right, let me ask
And
Mr.
the body
Pelfrey.
of it,
Go ahead.
body of it says your appeal, either the form AV-14 or
You're breaking up. I don't know if others could hear you, but I understand that you said that you read the letter and it said the AV-14 or by the signed letter, and you used the signed letter. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
if I need to do a AV-14, we can surely complete that and submit that. I can deliver it before the end of the week. I can deliver it by tomorrow if the court would give us the opportunity.
Sure. All right. Mr. Pelfrey, can you clear up about the AV-14 or the letter and whether or not that complies?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The counties, I don't specifically know about the Johnston County letter, but as far as I'm aware, all counties use a form that our office creates. And so the language in that letter says you either need to send in a written appeal or you need to send in AB 14, the form AB 14. But it normally says as well that once you send in your notice of appeal, our office, the Property Tax Commission will send you form AB 14 and you have to submit that. So there's actually technically two things that are required. One is a notice of an appeal from the decision, and the other is an application for a hearing before the commission. Form AB 14 accomplishes both of those things if the appellant uses that. But if instead the appellant sends in a written objection, then the AB 14 still has to be submitted as the application for hearing. If that is not clear from the letter, we can certainly take a look at that and try to make sure that that's clear going forward.
Okay.
But typically that's how that happens.
Okay. Did that letter come back to the Property Tax Commissioner, Mr. James, that the letter you're referring to from Johnson County? If not, could you email that to Mr. Pelfrey so he
Yep.
could take a look at it and get with the Johnson County officials? And if there's something needs to be clarified in that letter, see if they can do it. So you're asking for a continuance of this matter so that you can file your AV 14 and then it would get scheduled at a later date. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We'll give you, this is a procedural matter, which I can rule on. So we'll give you, is 2 weeks sufficient time to, let's see, what's today's the 22nd? How about May 15th to get that done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. That's all the items that we have on the agenda. We need to go into executive session. I think I'm right. There's nothing else, Mr. Pelfrey or Ms. Bendette, that's on the agenda that we need to take care of. And we'll come back into public session after we talk about this other matter.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that's correct. There's nothing more on the agenda. Mr. James, I do have a copy of that letter, so it's not necessary to send that to me, and we'll just follow
Okay.
up if needed with the county.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
James. Are you in Johnson County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, hadn't been there in a while, but I used to enjoy coming by there. You take care. All right. And Mr. Essex, anything, I should have called on you, I guess, but I assume you didn't have any objection to that.
No objection, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
I apologize. Normally we don't have anybody from the county on these matters, but we're glad that you were with us today.
Good to be here.
All
Thank you.
right, Ms. Bendette, if you can put us in executive session, hopefully for not too long.
Yes, sir. Give me just a second.
Okay, well, all right, then we stand adjourned until our May session. Everybody have a nice almost month, I guess. And
All of us
all right.
planning to attend in May in Raleigh, correct?
I hope so, but that's if you don't feel comfortable, it's still not going to be required, obviously. All right, y'all take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Care, everybody.